Anyway, here we go. This is what I wrote to the chief of police. You are the resistance to ticketing. Yes, I know, Brian. Hey, Brian, at all means and everything, writes Latin. This one is just for you and a few for now, but it seems few, like a couple of million, okay? A few could be anything for now, but it seems you're in a bit of a pickle here, and have been since you swore an oath to a dead fictional crown corporation. Never mind your already being dead by consent, willfully creating and using identification from the birth certificate, rendering all who claim such things as dead by consent, body owned by Crown Corp's fraudster. Contacting me is not a request, but rather a wish and a command from the living me to follow your own rules as per your vow of allegiance to the dead. It's quite simple. If you don't, every law and statute on the planet is rendered null and void, where you have sworn by your own free will choice to be a crown officer of the dead corporate fiction world, and thus have no voice, regardless of what you think. Facts are facts. Upon contacting me in prior, you are now under obligation to correct all the frauds and crimes perpetrated against me, the living, where the presumption that I, the living, devoid of any all legal names, are involved in as much as they were already null and void from their creation. You can begin with one of your dead slaves, as you are obligated now to arrest, for unknowingly committing fraud for personal gain, who uses the fraud legal name of Nora Detler, who is believed to be in the jurisdiction of the Chief Justice Mayor, commonly known as Cambridge and Hespler. She was a bank manager for the owners of the corporation, Bank of Montreal, which also involves every shareholder in that fraud as well. But let's stick to the real problems first. You also have an obligation now to arrest false personators Craig Nye, Robert Davis, former chief, Brent Eden, former deputy chief, Kevin McCart, and every officer involved in my kidnapping and that of my family on the evening of Saturday, February 11th, 2012, and into the morning of February 13th, 2012, as per the Gregorian version of the calendar. This also warrants the arrest of all SWAT members and all the officers that kidnapped and assaulted me a second time on March 3rd, 2012, when I returned to my home between the UPU jurisdictions of 5 and 9 Dalebrook Place in the jurisdiction of Guelph. You see, there was no number on the house. I took all that off. It was all gone. Mailbox, everything. There was no jurisdiction there at all. While you're at it, please advise your Chief Justice Mayor Karen Farbridge that she too is culpable for every crime your officers, lawyers, judges, bailiffs, Sheriff Karen McDonald for criminal fraud, criminal breach of trust, and countless other crimes as per their consent to be legal names, aliases, etc. Since you are now under obligation to perform your sworn duties, I, as the only living witness to these crimes, command it. Inasmuch as the courts work for the police forces and not the other way around, all bar-registered entities foreign immunity is removed, where any and all use of Crown copyrights granted are the prima facie evidence of their willful intent to defraud humanity on your behalf, are ultimately removed. We'll have the entire staff of KRMC in Newmarket/Toronto, as well as their corresponding Chief Justices Mayors, arrested as well. The courts involved will also be getting the pertinent information where I, as the living witness, have the only living voice in your dead world, rendering them my court to exact the punishments you have all agreed to, by and of your sworn oaths, to serve a dead corporation as one of the dead who will bury the dead. Your immunity is granted upon execution of your sworn duties. That's pretty clear. Cool. You help me, I'll help you, Bri. Failure to do your duty will render you as an accomplice after the fact. I will also be seeking the arrest of Frank Valeriot, James D. Pietrangelo, and various others as your investigation into everyone that ever defrauded and harmed me and my family, so get ready for a busy time. Any and all officers that assist you, except the ones that were and are directly involved in these crimes. The Crown-owned account obligation is Wilfred Keith Thompson that was mistaken for me, the living, and witness to the crimes against me and my family and humanity. But I'm sure you'll have all your fraud details regarding this account, so you'd best investigate every legal name fraudster ever connected to that account, making claims on me, where they are cleared up, including the judge that bowed to me on September 1st, 2010, and all involved in that fraudulent joinder attempt. A bunch of city workers and stuff, too. Also, Bailiff Steve. Yeah. Well, if this is not you, then this is not for you. No shit, Steve. You two-faced lying fucking Scottish cock-sucking Campbell bastard. That was fun. That was good. I was trying to get that moment back, eh? Yeah, I remember that moment. That was pretty cool. Anyway, good scene in the movie. You guys will love it. So where was it? I'm a snarky bitch. You put me in chains? Ooh, you got something else. Where was it? Account making Friday. Oh, don't worry. I kept meticulous files. Don't you know it? On all of you, so I will be more than happy to help, seeing as I'm the only living one involved at this point. Kevin McCart made a contract. This is the key here, too, guys. You see, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If somehow it's all about consent and contract, which it is, if someone makes me an offer and I accept it, the contract's complete. That's why these guys are so mindless fucking stupid. Kevin, seriously, you're making over $100,000 a year and you're this fucking retarded? Check this out. This is funny. Kevin McCart made a contract offer in voice. So the real thing, not on paper. This was the real spirit thing. To me, in the morning of March 3rd, 2012, that I fully accepted when he promised, and this is quote, have one of my men take you anywhere you want to go, unquote. To which I said, take me home then. Can't do it. Sorry, you made a fucking promise. The contract's already been in place since then, long before that. But I love these key points just to make sure that these guys fucking squirm on the end of their own hook. Because they hook themselves. I just let them. They bait their own hooks, so I just go to bigger fish with them, that's all. The more worms, the merrier I am. That contract was and is binding within all spiritual laws, which are exactly the same laws that are used to entrap and enslave humanity. So whoever, or more accurately, whatever legal name slaves that are belligerent occupiers of my home must be vacated ab initio. And everything your officers stole, including my gun collection that I paid for to ensure they will never be used for harm, my intent as to why I got them in the first place. My cell, as you're well aware, is 226-971-9675, and that's offered up to any fucking government agency, FBI, alphabet gang fucking monkey, to give me a call if you got the balls. And your silence shows your terror of me, and I love it. And guess what? I am not alone. I am not alone. You're fucked. You can be loved, but that's your choice, you see. You're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Stop. That's called suicide, you monk. Jesus. Anyway. 226-971-9675. Phone's here. Let me see. Make sure. Yep. Fully charged. I made sure of it. Lots of minutes there, Gov. Cops, anybody? Chicken shits? Come on. Better yet, call me on air. Let's see what you're made of, you coward. 661-467-2401. I'll give you priority. How about you, Jim Macris? Ministry of the Attorney General coward? You won't call because it's recorded. So is everything you're thinking, you fucking moron. I love these people. They're so funny. Anyway, carrying on here, which is also a phone that bears no name. You also have my email. So what does a police chief have to fear from me? Little old me. You? Nothing at the moment. But every other one is a different matter. There are honorable men and women in these groups of yours called police. I know I have a few that are helping me and humanity end this madness and insanity foisted upon mankind and fed only by the greed and psychopathic egos that willfully harm others for profit. Familiar, Brian? Woo! Sound like your mirror? Oh, right on, eh? You and your Masonic fucking thieves. You may refer to me as Kate. I have my own pronunciation that I've never told anyone. It's in my head. It will never leave it. As you pronounce it, because no one will ever know how I do, so it will never be assumed or presumed to be anything less than my own intent and creation. And good luck trying to get that out of me. She's tucked away real safe. P.S. Consciousness is aware of every choice, every action in every instant of now. Something that no one can hide from. This is pure contract now, fact. Perhaps listen to my live show of me commanding 3 OPP officers on March 14th, 2014. to understand your powerless position now to do otherwise, but fulfill your oath, or every law, statute falls into non-existence, as if they ever did. LOL. Catch 22 after all, eh? Have a nice day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Read on for some details, more to come. So I put in the as per your fraud, blah, 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 blah. So let me carry on, because I had 2 addendums to it. Not very long, but I had a couple of addendums. That's just what I do, right? Here we go. Where are we? Little music interlude here. Oh, there we go. Addendum. And this is some great advertising for Allied vandal lines for the fucking damage their workers did. And not only that, emptying the bar, drinking all my pop, leaving coffee cups everywhere, scratching up my bamboo floor. I installed it, asshole. Oh, I got the evidence. One of the fucking monkeys left their hat behind. Got DNA and everything all over it. That's why I like plastic bags and storage units. Cool, huh? Hey, and the best part? Storage unit? Good luck. You'll never find it. And you won't get access because, hey, gosh darn it, I didn't rent it. Somebody else did. So there we go. I pay for it. That's all. Anyway, here was the addendum. A few other things, but you'd best get busy locating my car, my truck, my scuba gear, my tools, my stolen gold and silver, my coins, KRMC had, my 2 ounces of cannabis that was for my late brother's cancer treatment, Sue's Olympic-class bike, and lots of other stolen things as a result of your company's and others' fraud and theft. I also have another issue regarding a couple of legal name slaves regarding stolen tools and guitars, etc. Yeah, you motherfuckers got real busy trying to break me, but it is you and your system that is now toast, so best get on with your oath. Those who make the laws must obey the laws, so you're rooked and checkmated. It's either do your job or quit like the coward Brent Eden, or get dumped like your former coward boss, Rob Davis. Only the truth will set you free, so it truly is your choice, Kate. Little addendum after that. Allied van lines workers who also trashed my home and the property management people will all be rounded up as well. You guys have a lot to clean up, so get on it. Because if someone commanding you to do your job seems like a threat, it isn't. It's simply called do your job or quit. Easy peasy. To do otherwise makes you a liar and a cheat as well, and I am so tired of fucking lying cowards. How about you? I'd also be more than happy to help put away others involved in perpetuating this fraud, like the gimme free men on the land sovereign citizen parasites, who are no different than anyone else using or claiming to be a legal name, dead by consent slave, and promoting fraud by claiming there is legal remedy for anyone outside the bar, lawyer, judge, assholes who serve a darker principality. I mean, really, if not for yourself, what about your family? What about your friends and the so-called children you watch over called police officers? Your little gig is up. I have over 1 million listeners every night, growing with reports coming in worldwide from inside and outside your dead horse system. Tick-tock, kiddo. So yeah, your fucking guns and badges don't scare me. Never did, so let me remind you. Those who live by the sword end by it, and I mean, hey, it's not like anyone's getting murdered anyway. They were already dead by their own choice, legally and lawfully anyway. Every minute you all cost me is one you'll have to repay as per the golden rule, but it gets better. Monty, what have we got behind door number 2 over here? You'll also pay for every second you have ever cost anyone via this legal name fraud. That's the bitch about the golden rule. Let that one roll around in your head for a while, and you get the notion of that 1,000-year thing that was referred to in Revelation's allegory, eh? Tick-tock, Brian. Tick-fucking-talk. It is not my wish that you or anyone be harmed, and perhaps that's why I'm so passionate about waking you and everyone else up to your own slaughter by your own consent. Simply nothing I would wish for, and certainly something I would hope someone would make me aware of if I didn't already know. Don't worry, Karen Farge has the furthest bridge to cross. Hell, it's in her name. Way. LOL. Talk later. Me, the witness, eh? LOL. Talk about a crown of thorns. I'm it. Tick. Talk.